Okay, so for this actual coding of the project for the interactive card, you can really choose to do this how you would like. Try to include the things that are required in the rubric, as try to include all those things that are required. But I'm just going to try to add as many things as I can to just kind of show you some examples of what you can do. So for the first part, we should have already done the planning activity, and you'll want to use what you've planned to create the card. So let's go ahead and figure out what the lowest layer of the image is. Usually it's the background, so we're going to go ahead and go to drawing and then go to background. So let's do a background color of white. That's fine. Okay, so I've got a white background here, so I run it and it's white. I could change the color if I wanted to. Maybe I want to change the color to blue or something else. Okay, reset it and it's blue. Okay, so now we're going to decide what we want to add. So we're going to layer each additional drawing block in the order we want them to appear. Maybe I want to have some words. Maybe we'll have the text on here. Okay, so maybe I'm going to have some text. And then we'll change the size. And I'm actually going to change there we go. Change the color to, let's make it white. Okay, and then I'm actually going to change these coordinates because I've got them mixed up from where I wanted. There we go. Okay, so I've got my background, I've got my words, and then maybe I want the sprites afterwards. So if I want shapes too, you can put shapes on here for your drawing. So that's the first part. Maybe I don't really want any shapes on here. Maybe I just want to use sprites, and that's okay. So add a comment to the top of the section of the code to describe what it does. And if you have complicated code, then you can add a description. So we're going to go ahead and go to comments real quick. So here we're going to say okay. So draws images and shapes and text. All right, so we've got a comment there, and then let's go ahead and it's got a challenge, which is asking us to add subtle animation to the background layer. Maybe we want to add maybe some little shining areas. So maybe I'll just draw an ellipse. Maybe the ellipse will be a random number. So let's go math, random number. So the X and the Y, we're actually going to put at a random number on the screen. And the size will be just a small, maybe 5 by 5 pixel. And random number between 1 to 399. Or you could do 1 to 400. Let's just do 1 to 400. And random number from 1 to 400. And let's have it be a color. So go to drawing and let's go to fill color and put it above it because we want to change the color above it. Maybe let's see what colors we got here. Yeah, but not too many choices. Let's see if I want to see if silver is going to work. If not, then we can. Yep, so there's little sparkles going. Probably hard to see. maybe we can make them a little bit bigger. And we'll run it again. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so we use our random number. So the x position is anywhere between 0 to 4, or 1 to 400, the y from 1 to 400 as well. So we've done the challenge part of it. Let's go ahead and move to the next section. So we're going to go ahead and hit finish. And then for the next section, it wants us to add our sprites. So we're going to add sprites and the primary animations. So we want to go to the sprites section and add the sprites that we had planned. So we first want to create the sprites. And we'll do those outside of the draw function. So before the draw function, at the very top, we want to create whatever sprites we're using. So I'm going to use, let's say, 3 different sprites, and we'll say fish, I don't know, crab, and fish 2. Okay, so we've got it here, and then we also need to create the images or find them and set it to set animation. So we're going to say sprite.setAnimation for each of these, and you can do it as long as you do it before the draw function, then you'll be fine. But you can do it right after each one if you want, so that way it's easier to keep track of them. So we got fish, fish, and we got crab, crab, and then fish 2, fish 2. Okay, so now we got to set the animations. So fish.setAnimation2, and then we're gonna go to the animation here, add new animation. We go to our animals, and I need to find my fish. There's one. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to add the other ones here. I'm going to add my other fish that I want. Maybe I want to use this one. So, and then I've got to add my crab. So you can just hit plus and add them there. When you go back to your code, now you can choose from your drop-down menu from whatever you added. So fish 1 is going to be fish green 1. My crab is going to be set to the crab. And my other fish, is going to be set to fish 2. Okay, so I've got my variables created, and then my fish.setAnimation to what they're set to. So my fish is set to fish green 1, my crab set to the crab, my fish 2 is set to the fish 2. All right, so we've set the animation, and now inside the draw loop, we want to update any sprite properties that will be constantly animating. Okay, so we will go ahead and update those as well. So let's draw the fish after we draw everything else. So let's go ahead and say draw sprites. So if you go to world, you go to draw sprites. And right now, I've got the positioned all the same spot, 200, 200. So we'll want to change those first. So maybe I have the first fish at 50 over and 50 down. And then I have the second, I have the crab maybe on the bottom of the ocean floor, so maybe I want him over here. Maybe 350 and 350 for the crab. And then, oh, sorry, that was yep, that was crab. And then the third one, maybe I want the third fish down here at 350 and, I don't know, maybe 350, 150. Okay. So let's go ahead and run that. So I've got these 3 here. They're not moving yet, so maybe I want to fix that first. So my crab's a little big though, so I'm going to change my crab scale. So I'll go to sprites, sprite. These are the properties you can change. You can change the X position, the Y position, the scale, rotation, height, width, visibility, that kind of thing. So I'm going to change the scale on the sprite. So we're going to go where it says sprite.scale. We're going to change that to the name of our sprite. Crab.scale equals, we'll say 0.25, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, maybe that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this video, and we'll go through, you can get even further along.